Hi, I'm Matt, and this is Making Dollars and Cents at the Box Office, Weekend 43. Studios had nothing to be ashamed of this weekend, as they gave audiences plenty to keep up with, leading this weekend reaching to be one of the most successful October weekends in the last several years. So, let's take a look at all of the movies that put the holla in Halloween. With a full ensemble of films coming out this past weekend, moviegoers came out in record numbers, leading to one of the best Weekend 43s gross-wise for the box office in the last 6 years. Now, this is really notable given the fact that the last several weekends have seen record lows for the same time period. Leading the pack of newcomers this weekend was Boo, a Madea Halloween by Lionsgate, which brought in an impressive $28.5 million, well surpassing its $20 million production budget. But on top of that, this is also the largest opening for a Madea-branded feature since Tyler Perry's Madea Goes to Jail back in 2009. And for a film that was based off of an offhanded comment by Chris Rock in Top 5, this is a win-win all around. In my mind, there is no question as to how Tyler Perry pulled off such an awesome debut. Boo! A Madea Halloween brings to the table everything that fans of this storyline wanted to see from a Madea film. It also had this perfect Halloween twist that I think honestly really helped expand its initial audience base. And on top of all of that, it's been 3 years since we got the last Madea film, leaving all of the fans of this series singing hallelujah. Finishing second this weekend was Tom Cruise's Jack Reacher sequel, Never Go Back, which pulled in $22 million on a $60 million production budget. But despite having a lackluster domestic opening and being a sequel in a year where that's all that studios seem to be able to scrape together, the film did pull in $31 million internationally, bringing its global opening up to $54 million, mere inches of making back its production budget opening weekend. And edging out The Accountant for third place this weekend was Universal's Ouija: Origin of Evil. Ouija opened to $14 million over the weekend, and yes, its production budget was $9 million, but this seems really less than thrilling given the fact that the film had way better critical feedback going into its premiere versus its 2014 predecessor. Though, the film did get a C on Cinema Score from audiences opening day, so really, this film must be the origin of nothing memorable. Landing at spot number 7 this weekend was Keeping Up with the Joneses, which clearly was not keeping up with anything. And finally, A24's Moonlight had one of the best opening weekends, even though it only debuted in 4 different theaters. The film brought in $400,000 over the weekend, with an average of $100,000 per theater, which is huge because that makes it part of the top 25 best all-time opening averages. And if that's any indication to how great this film is, when it goes to a nationwide release, it's gonna be massive. And speaking of going nationwide, Denial upped its theater count to 648. And yes, it didn't crack $1 million this weekend, but momentum and interest for this film is quickly growing. And coming to theaters this weekend, we have Inferno starring Tom Hanks in the third of the Da Vinci Code franchise, and Ewan McGregor in his directorial debut of American Pastoral. Inferno is all about a religious madman who's got a plague that he's trying to release upon the world that could kill billions, but Hank's Robert Langdon has to stop him. The film just made $94.8 million internationally this past weekend, and while I'm pretty sure this thriller will take the top of the box office this coming weekend, I'm actually way more interested to see how it performs when it opens against China and Japan day for day. While Inferno is the name to beat this coming weekend, I'm personally more intrigued by McGregor's American Pastoral. Set in the 1960s, McGregor plays a man who appears to be living the American dream, but quickly has his concepts of faith, family, and society shaken to their core as he fights to find his daughter who's gone missing after getting accused of performing a terrible crime. A period piece that looks like it's a definite Oscar contender with plenty of October drama starring Ewan McGregor. Honestly, I could ask for no more, so you can be guaranteed I'm gonna be first in line for this one. And that's it for this week. Between the plethora of films that we had come out last weekend and the 2 solid newcomers that we have coming out this coming weekend, this is an awesome time to go to the theaters and catch a movie. And remember, if you like this film, click subscribe below, comment if you want to join the conversation, and we'll see you next week on Making Dollars and Cents at the Box Office.